What's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Thank you for joining me. Last time we ranked the top 10 legendary cards. This time we were going to rank the top 10 epic cards by popular request. Now let me tell you, this was way more challenging to do compared to the legendary ranking video. There are so many really good epic cards. Some of the cards that I had to leave off this list may surprise you, but before we get to the list, let me quickly run down the 4 pieces of criteria that we're going to judge these cards based upon. So number 1 is going to be the utility. Basically, how effective is the card given the elixir cost of the card. Number 2 is the versatility. How many decks does this card fit into? Number 3 is just the sheer power. What are the win rates of this card? And number 4 is redundancy, meaning how unique is this card? Can other cards do the same thing just as well as this card or even better? So those are the criteria. Let's go ahead and get to the list with number 10. Number 10 on the list is going to be Goblin Barrel. Goblin Barrel is a win condition. The reason it's so low on the list, relatively speaking, is because Bait has a lot of counters right now. A lot of NATO, a lot of Bar Barrel, a lot of Log going around in the game, and Bait has been in better spots. However, that can take nothing away from the Goblin Barrel, which was originally 4 elixir and did death damage. Now, that was a long time ago. Now it's a 3 elixir card, which is the staple of every Log Bait deck inside the entire game. So because of that, Goblin Barrel certainly deserves a spot on the top 10 list here of epic cards. Let's go ahead and move on to number 9. Number 9 is going to be Balloon. Balloon is a solid card. It can be its own winning condition in a Balloon Cycle deck or a Balloon Lumberjack deck, or of course when paired with the big mighty Lava Hound, Balloon can do some serious damage. It's a building targeting card that benefits a lot from, again, the Lumberjack Rage or just Rage in general, or it can just be fantastic behind a big tank. It could even fit into P.E.K.K.A decks and Mega Knight decks. Balloon is just such a lethal card when it reaches that tower. Oftentimes, you can basically wave that tower goodbye after it makes contact. That's why Balloon comes in at number 9 on this list. Number 8 might surprise some people, but I feel pretty strongly about it, and that is Guards. Guards are a really good card, guys. I love the shields on a 3 elixir troop. It makes them unique, and it makes them incredibly powerful when defending and distracting. Unlike the Goblin Gang, they do not die to Log or Barbarian Barrel. They'll live again in the form of the skeletons. That's why Guards, to me, are certainly incredibly underrated when it comes to epic cards. I don't feel like they get the love that they rightfully deserve in the game. They're versatile, they make a good combo card, and sometimes they can even counter push with a card like a Hog Rider or a Balloon, providing a little bit of tankage for those cards, all for only 3 elixir. That's why Guards comes in at number 8 on our list. Number 7 is the Prince. Now, Prince is a card that a lot of people feel like deserves a big nerf. I recently had Sir Tag on the channel, and he said that the Prince, out of any card in the game, deserves a nerf. Now, I'm not sure if I agree with that, but there's no denying the sheer power of the Prince. Prince is a card that often gets buffed and nerfed and buffed and nerfed and buffed, but right now, it's actually pretty viable after the most recent buff to the card. Of course, the Charging Prince can do a ton of damage. It can be lethal if it gets to the tower. It can single-handedly take a tower down. The Prince is awesome behind a giant. It's awesome on defense, and of course, it's incredibly lethal behind a big lumbering golem. That's why the Prince comes in at number 7 on our list. Number 6 is going to be the second spell on the list. That's right, Goblin Barrel technically counts as a spell. It's going to be Poison. How could I make a top 10 list of epic cards without including the damage over time big spell, the Poison? Poison used to actually slow its troops that were in its radius along with doing tick point damage. Now it just does damage, but it can still be a very effective card. The damage over time is unique and incredibly versatile in the game. It provides a niche that Poison has that other big damage spells simply do not have. The uniqueness of the spell, and of course the popularity and the versatility of the card, along with being stable in pretty much every single meta since its inception to the game, brings Poison at number 6 on our list. Let's check out number 5. Number 5 is our third spell on the list, and technically you could probably make a case for this card to be as high as number 1 on the list. And it's another card that they have buffed and buffed and buffed until it's actually viable. That's right, it's the Barbarian Barrel. Barrel is so strong. It can make a natural tank for a graveyard deck for only 2 elixir. It can do a lot of the things that the log can do, but it can just provide a nice easy 2 elixir tank if you need one. It can take out archers and obviously girl rascals. It has a lot of versatility. It's an awesome card, and we're actually starting to see it in almost every single deck. I think the only archetype left that really doesn't use Barbarian Barrel and still prefers the log is Bait, which is not incredibly popular right now. So we're seeing it in siege decks, we're seeing Barbarian Barrel in golem decks, of course we're seeing it in graveyard decks and minor poison decks. Barbarian Barrel is everywhere, and it is the number 1 spell in the game, even over Zap and Log right now. I think you can make a strong case it belongs even higher on the list, but for now, we'll keep our expectations somewhat tempered because you never know, they could nerf the card in the next balance update. So that's why it comes in at number 5 here on the list. Number 4 is the king of all tanks. It is the Golem. Golem is a polarizing card. He has the most hit points in the game. He does an incredible amount of death damage. He spawns 2 Golemites who have a lot of HP themselves. Golem is the best tank in the game, the biggest tank in the game, and he certainly deserves a spot in the top 5 of our strongest epic cards. Of course, he is an archetype within himself. He's the king of beatdown decks, and I think he's always been viable in the game. I said the card was polarizing. A lot of people feel like Golem needs a nerf. It's never really gotten a nerf, but me personally, I think that Golem is really strong, and I think it keeps a lot of other archetypes in check. I like the Golem, but nevertheless, he's incredibly powerful. So that's why Golem comes in at number 4 on our list. Coming in at number 3, well, let's think about it. What counters the Golem, is popular in Control, is popular in Bridge Spam, is popular pretty much everywhere in the game? It's the P.E.K.K.A. She is a incredible card, and we talked about beatdown keeping other archetypes in check. How about P.E.K.K.A. keeping beatdown in check? Think about Golem in giant decks if the P.E.K.K.A. wasn't around. P.E.K.K.A. is an incredibly strong card. Some of you may be surprised that I'm including her this high, but just look at the recent 12-win grand challenges on Stats Royale, and you will see P.E.K.K.A. deck after P.E.K.K.A. deck after P.E.K.K.A. deck. P.E.K.K.A. is the mother of Control, the mother of Bridge Spam, and the mother of many different hybrid decks. She packs a super heavy punch with her mammoth sword, and that's why she comes in at number 3 on our list. Nothing could stop the P.E.K.K.A. Alright guys, only 2 cards left, so coming in at number 2 is going to be the Electro Dragon. It might surprise a lot of you guys that I didn't have Electro Dragon at number 1, and the reason for that is, to be honest with you guys, I think that it's a powerful card. It probably needs a nerf. It's probably going to get a nerf. It seems like it's in every deck right now, from 3 Musketeers to Golem to really anything, Control, and it's everywhere, right? There's no doubt about it. The Electro Dragon is the strongest card added to the game since, well, recruits when they were broken at 6 elixir. But before that, since the Night Witch, the Electro Dragon really sets a precedent right now in the game as being the annoying card. I anticipate a lot of Electro Dragon bans at CRL World Finals, and rightfully so. We talked about it with the P.E.K.K.A, but take a look at tournament level standard use and win rates of the E-Dragon. They are unprecedented. They are that high right now. There's no arguing that Electro Dragon belongs at the top of this list, but I didn't feel he was number one worthy because he really hasn't stood the test of time, and I have a feeling he will be getting hit pretty hard with the nerf hammer, so we're going to go ahead and include him at number 2 today. So let's go ahead and cover a few honorable mentions before we get to my number 1 epic card. Man, there are so many great epic cards. I didn't include a lot of them that you could make a really strong argument belong on the list. Now, a lot of the cards I didn't include were either 4 or 5 elixir support cards. I feel that the redundancy of those cards, meaning there's a lot of cards that do the same thing, is what prevented them from being on my list. For example, the Executioner, well, you already have the Wizard, you have cards like Hunter, which I didn't include on the list either, and then you have Cannon Cart and Bowler, 2 strong 5 elixir kind of support cards or defense cards and counterattack cards. You have the Witch, the Baby Dragon, Freeze, and Expo. So many amazing epic cards. But guys, truthfully, I think that the best epic card inside the game changed the game, similar to Miner, my number 1 legendary card. Let's go ahead and check out number 1 on the epic rankings. That's right, you guessed it, that leaves no card other than Tornado to come in at number 1 on our list. Tornado is so strong. Think about the game before Tornado was added. There were barely any King Tower activations. That's now a huge part of the game. And then think about the synergy between NATO and pretty much every splash card. Ice Wizard, Baby Dragon, Wizard, Executioner. Tornado really made a lot of cards useful that weren't previously useful in the meta. Tornado can change a game in one play for 3 elixir. It does damage. It clumps everything up together. It can activate your King Tower. Tornado is a relatively high skill card, meaning that really anybody can play it, but if you can master Tornado, you can capture incredible value, all for, again, a 3 elixir cost. Guys, what do you think? Am I right? Is NATO the strongest epic card in the game? I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments below which cards you would have included in your top 10, and maybe drop your top 3 epic cards in the comments below, and I'll go ahead and check out what you guys have to say. I hope you enjoyed this ranking video. Give me an idea for the next ranking video. What do you want to see me rank next? Should I just go down the rarities, maybe do rares and common cards, or should I switch it up? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Huge shout out to Stats Royale and Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Check out his information as well in the description below. Thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. It means a lot to me, guys. And as always, take care, guys.